everyone. Today we will be talking about Atkinson-Shiffrin model of memory. This memory model was developed by Richard Atkinson and Richard Shiffrin in the year 1968. So this model is always known as multi-store model because according to Atkinson and Shiffrin, they are saying that memory is consisted of different stores. There are 3 stores of memory according to Atkinson and Shiffrin, which are sensory memory, short-term memory and long-term memory. Then this theory is very important in the history of cognitive psychology because this was a foundational theory in cognitive psychology. Further theories like Baddeley and his working memory model and other models was subsequently worked upon this memory model by Atkinson and Shiffrin. So the 3-stage memory model are sensory memory, short-term memory and long-term memory. Sensory memory, it has very low time retention capacity. There are 2 memory in sensory memory, iconic memory and echoic memory. Iconic memory can only hold the data for less than 0.5 seconds, which is very small time limit. Then echoic memory, it retains auditory data. It can only retain the data approximately to 3 to 4 seconds. Then there is short-term memory. It can hold information temporarily, very temporarily, typically up to 30 seconds. So here the capacity is 7 plus or minus 2. Then it can store information through rehearsal, which we'll be delving deeper in the coming slides. Then there is long-term memory. Long-term memory can hold the information for prolonged period of time. It can at least retain for minutes, or it can retain the information for throughout the life. Okay, so the capacity and the retention period is very huge. Then there is sensory memory. We'll be looking deeper into sensory memory. The capacity, as I already mentioned, it is very large capacity. It can capture everything in the environment. So the capacity is very, very large. Then the duration is very brief. As I said, it is very milliseconds only. Then encoding is primarily sensory. Okay, the encoding is done in sensory mode. Then the function is, it is serving as a buffer for incoming sensory information, and it allows only the selected information to pass through the next stage of memory. Then sensory memory is automatic. Okay, so we are usually unaware of whether there is something happening or not. Then the process by which the sensory memory, the items in sensory memory are going into short-term memory is the way of attention. Okay, it is through attention the information in sensory memory is going to short-term memory. Then there are majorly 2 types of sensory memory, which are iconic memory and echoic memory. In iconic memory, the data is usually in visual form, and in echoic memory, the data is usually in auditory form. Next, we will be looking to short-term memory. In short-term memory, the capacity is very limited, and it is around 7 plus or minus 2 chunks of information which it can retain at a given period of time. Okay. Then the duration, it is lasting up to 13 to 50 seconds unless we are actively rehearsed. So rehearsal is a major part in short-term memory. So we can retain the data in short-term memory through 2 types of rehearsal. We can either practice maintenance rehearsal or we can practice elaborate rehearsal. Through maintenance rehearsal, we can retain the information in the short-term memory for a brief period of time. If we are practicing elaborate rehearsal, we can retain the information, or you can pass the information into the long-term memory. So short-term memory is very fragile. The information can decay, but when we are actively rehearsing, information can be gone to the next memory level, which is long-term memory. The next is long-term memory. Long-term memory, as we know, the capacity is very huge. We can say it is limitless capacity it has. So it is unlimited capacity. Then the duration is potentially permanent. There are things which we remember regarding our childhood until the death of us. So it is very permanent memory. It can hold vast amount of information. The encoding is primarily semantic. Okay, what is meant by semantic? By semantic, we are intending meaning based. So the information in this long-term memory is primarily encoded in semantic forms, and we can say primarily semantic. There are other forms of encoding also like visual and auditory, but the primary or utmost important encoding is semantic. Then there is organizational structure. As we said, the memory is encoded in semantic form. So there are network of association happening in the long-term memory. So these meaning-based information are making an association and it is making an organizational structure in the long-term memory. So that is about the three storages of memory. Then we will be talking about the process linking the different memory stores or different memory stages. First is attention. So it is through attention the information from the sensory memory is going to short-term memory. Okay. So only those information which we are attended are going to the short-term memory from the sensory memory. Then there is rehearsal. As I already said, there are two types of rehearsal: elaboratory rehearsal and maintenance rehearsal. So what is meant by rehearsal? Rehearsal means the repetition of information. Okay, we are repeating the information in our mind so as to keep it in the short-term memory. So if we are practicing maintenance rehearsal, the information in the short-term memory will be retained in the short-term memory store for up to some seconds or minutes. But we are engaging in elaboratory rehearsal, the information in the short-term memory will be proceeded to the long-term memory. Then there is retrieval. It is through the process of retrieval that information from the long-term memory is retrieved into the consciousness if we need any memory at any given instances. Okay. So this is a flow chart showing the Atkinson-Shiffrin model of memory. So there is this environmental stimuli. There are different sensory organs we have. So information will be coming through eyes, ears, tongue, and touch and everything. So the different senses the informations are coming. Then it is entering the sensory memory. Only the information which are attended is going to the working memory. Every information from the environment is coming to the sensory memory and it is retaining there for like milliseconds or something. So when we attend the information from this bulk of information, we are selectively attending some information. Those information will be going to the working memory. So in working memory, we are doing rehearsal on particular information. We are doing either maintenance rehearsal or we are doing elaboratory rehearsal. So the information which we are doing elaboratory rehearsal will be going to the long-term memory. Elaborate rehearsal will be going to the long-term memory, or the information we are doing maintenance rehearsal will be kept in the working memory or short-term memory itself. Okay, so that is about the Atkinson and Shiffrin model of memory. Hope you guys have understood. Thank you.